Part of country's growth story. Fiscal policy refers to the use of government spending and tax policies. Tax policy influence to economic conditions, especially macroeconomic conditions include aggregate macroeconomic conditions, including aggregate demand for goods and services, employment, inflation, and economic growth. Fiscal policy can be key tool in reducing income inequality as well as making the poorest and downtrodden a part of a country's growth in the following ways. Taxation. Taxes have a direct bearing on people's income, affecting their levels of disposable income. Fiscal policy can be a key tool in reducing income inequality. Reducing income equality as well as making the poorest and downtrodden part of the country growth in the following ways. Taxation. Taxes have directly bearing on people's incomes, affecting their levels of disposable income, purchase of goods, services, consumption, and ultimately their standard of living. In order to reduce the income inequality, the following measures have been taken. India has adopted a progressive taxation system involves different rate of income taxation as per different slabs, therefore by taxing people as per their income levels. Similarly, indirect taxation in India, such as GST, has different rates as per the type of goods and service. For example, essential items attract low taxes, while luxury items such as washing machine, water parks, outdoor park catering, for example, essential items at low taxes, while luxury items, washing machine, water parks, outdoor catering, public expenditure through the fiscal policy, the government ensures that the public expenditure directly intervenes for the welfare of the society. Expenditure, especially the poor and downtrodden sections. For example, schemes involving targeted cash transfers such as PAHAR, National Social Assistance Program etc. ensure that poor sections of society have access to resources required for their sustenance. Involving targeted such cash transfers such as PAHAR, National Social Assistance Program, schemes involving um, in kind subsidies, schemes involving through the public distribution system, midday meal, सर्वशिक्षा अभियान, जन आरोग्य योजना, ensure that poorer section of the society have access to food, health as well as the education and are able to progress with India's growth. And sectors such as the infrastructure, economy. For example, rural roads directly impact the life of the most vulnerable and disadvantages. Rural roads are directly impact the lives of most vulnerable and disadvantaged section in terms of engaging in the entrepreneurial access the effective maternal and child health care services. Fiscal policy can intervene. Fiscal policy as per the need of a time to create a safety net for vulnerable sections, including giving emergency credit for small business. For example, extending relief to parents and guardians or eligible persons in the latest budget to help families who hitherto bore that bond alone. Mainly parents to guardian disabled persons, recognizing the importance of urban planning, mental health as well as green finance. Fiscal policy is a tool that links income distribution to future economic growth. Future economic growth to government must use the judiciously for redistribution of as it empowers the downtrodden. But if not done correctly, overspending by the government and increased tax ratio may discourage the upper income groups to invest and can stifle economic growth. Digitizing land records will go a long way in ensuring land reforms, as well as lessening the burden on the Indian judiciary. Elaborate also.